Okay. Lisa's here ready, so I'm glad to see that. She's ready to go. We go. Laura's here too. Good. Guess we scared off everybody else, huh? No, we got a few minutes. Mike's on. Okay. We got 5 minutes. Wow, mine was quick. I'll get I'll get last week's painting on. Can get back here.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Mike. Oh, so everybody shut themselves off. Everybody's muted. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. I like to keep it nice and quiet. So okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll speak up.
You
Hello.
want to speak up? Speak
Hello,
up.
hello. Hi, everybody. Lisa.
Lisa, what's up, Lisa?
Nothing. It's hot in my attic. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, 80 degrees day. It gets hot up there again?
Not complaining. Not complaining.
Open some windows.
I did. Yeah, I'll never complain about a warm day.
Okay. All right. Good for you. So, hey, we bought our tickets to Toulouse and from Pisa. So we are set. We are flying into Frankfurt and flying out of Frankfurt. Basically flying to Frankfurt, then going to Toulouse, and then Pisa to Frankfurt and stuff. So, but they're one shots at least. So try to keep the layovers down.
Yeah.
Get in the butt. What is that? Okay, that's not that. All right. Oh, stretches, warm up, right? Oh. Get those hands loose. Well, this is what we painted last week. This is that building and stuff. There were some really good ones. I mean, you guys really, I think Laura was the only one who didn't paint it because she doesn't like us anymore. But at least I haven't seen yours either. But I'm sure
I didn't finish.
If you finish or do anything, I'm sure it's going to be. It was really great the way it was. But yeah, it was kind of fun. It was a lot more. I thought the picture was a pretty good picture. I thought there was something in there. I could see something in there. I'm not sure. I think it was this light right here pushing around this thing, and that strong element there, and then with the flowers and stuff. It's kind of interesting. It kind of moved and stuff. So color was, it's always fun to be pulled in by color like that. So yeah, looks like I could probably use just one more right in here. It's just a little dead area, but hey, we're gonna leave it for now. So I'm gonna put that back away, and then we'll get going. Oh, this again was on one of these panels. This is a different one. This is New York Central panel. This is a New York Central. It is on real MDF board, so it is like really thick compared to these other flimsy ones.
What's the surface like, Jim?
It is really quite nice. In fact, it is not slick or anything like that. it is. You can see that you can tell it's well gessoed and sanded, so it's good for portraits even. So it's has a lot of it was pretty good, and it held paint nicely, and when it dried like that, because you could tell that there sometimes the gesso they use is so cheap it just sucks the oil right out of the paint, so you get a lot of dull darks and stuff. Your darks get really dull and you can't see them. You have to basically oil paint your canvas back up to be able to see know what colors you have in there. But that was you could see the colors were there, so it must be okay. Not too much different than these are just a little flimsy. They've gotten a little cheap on us. Keep dropping back the quality a little bit, but as long as you don't go too big on them, you'd be all right. That being said, I've gone too big on them too many times already. So what we're going to be doing today, after that one, we a lot of greens. So today we're going to go a little brown, no more oranges and browns in this one, and go out west, and see the sights here. I'm not exactly sure what monuments these are right there, but in the background, I just ran across a photo in my artist photo reference site, and just pulled it a long time ago, and I said, well, this could be really interesting to do. I mean, there's some nice lights, and I like the little horse guy, and in it, I took him and moved him over a little bit for you too. I put him in the right spot. He was too far to the edge, and so I took him and cut him and slid him over. That's that. So we're set. We're ready. You're welcome. You're welcome. And today being the 28th of April, if anybody knows what the 28th of April, it's a very famous day.
Happy birthday.
There you go. Thank you. See?
You're working on your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Can you guys believe that? My birthday. That's how like how much it matters anymore, right? Yeah. Just get out of here. Go do that. Also, on my birthday, you guys saw that magazine, right? I was in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
That's great.
This one came too. It's a different one. This is American Artist.
Oh, wow.
And they did a thing on me too.
Nice.
Yeah, just a smaller one-page feature.
That was always my favorite one.
It's a good one. Yeah, American Art Collector. So, hey. Okay, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Okay, back to what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, let's see. We're going to be. I'm going to be pulling this up, and we're going to be going through it. That's what we're going to be doing. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, yeah. Visually and value wise, how important that is on these paintings. You can see on this one the values back in here, that orange back there, that's the land that's mostly of the desert dirt and stuff, is really close to a 5. 5s and 4s, right? 5s and 4s back there. That tells you a lot. I looked it up, 5s and 4s. So the sky really doesn't go past too much more than that. It stays really pretty close to a 4s and 3s, for that sky. Pretty dark. So, so values, I mean, except for what's really dark though, of course, is the sides of these monuments, these really rock monuments here. They got very strong shadows. I mean, the shadows again are number fours as you can compare to the ground. They're fours, fives. So this painting pretty much is going to stay pretty much, from nines to about fours. It doesn't get too much brighter. You might get a little bit though, a three for the horse and the hat and that, and maybe a little bit into these sage and yarrow here. Maybe that's about it. You know, yeah, you might, if you want to bring out, something in the clouds and stuff, you might go a little bit brighter too. But that's what we're dealing with right there is pretty much, midtones and, not too many highlights. Values of the shirt and thing are going to be right around 7, and then 8, 9-ish for his pants and markings there. Those are also going to be pretty much for values for these shadows there too. But they're going to be different colors, of course. But a lot of times when the guy's so small, it doesn't make too much a difference. You want him to stand out. So big, big scene, little guy. That's always fun. I kind of like those. But here it is in color again. I was talking about the oranges being kind of, taking over. A lot of orange, even in the monuments back here. You look at the blues and the purples into this back area here that kind of like is a nice backdrop, and pushes the oranges and the warms of the shadows. Really tells you that the shadows on these guys, these guys here, that's going to be a warm shadow compared to back in here. This is purple. That's a grayed out purple, which we'll have to figure out what color that was going to be. But definitely, definitely has a lot more red in it. But I'm not sure how red we're going to be going. Maybe we'll be going an oxide red, and maybe we'll just be going with a little bit more, green and cad red or something like that in there. I'm not sure. Who knows? There's so many choices. Design wise, pretty good. I mean, this is pretty nice. I love the arc of this thing going up top and stuff. I like the placement of it at the little bit, third would be right about here. It's just above third. This one's pretty much at third, 1/3. Well, and it kind of runs straight kind of across too. So little things, you got this coming in like this, so you might, you could bring, that doesn't do good. I don't want to go with that. I wouldn't go up. I'd probably still, take it down or something like that. Maybe bring it down, cut the middle of the horse, not the bottom. You don't want to get through. You want to do is bottom of the horse, but maybe right into the head or something like that, and bring it down a little bit, or just do a crazy break it up a little bit, up and down a little bit would work better too. So that might, that's really where it's going to end up. But you could really exaggerate that. You could really come in here a little bit and break it up and probably work out really well. Okay. And then the colors itself, like you said, you got a lot of oranges here, but so we're going to be mixing up a few different colors of oranges and yellows, and then basically oranges and blues, which is a very great complementary colors together. So they should work out really well. Okay. Like I said, I already placed him in the perfect position. Oh, come on, you can't beat that. So we are set. I mean, you can beat it. You guys can do whatever you want. If you wanted to take this and just, trim it down and just do a piece of these guys up here, that'd be fine. I mean, you guys can still take any of this photo and crop it any way you want. If you want to crop off more at the bottom, that'd be fine. If you want to do a skinnier one, I mean, yeah, if you're doing a 12 by 16 or something, this is like more of a square. This is a 12 by 20. I mean, a 20 by 16. So if you're going to do a 12 by 16, you probably, if I was going to cut anywhere, yeah, you want to just cut some of this grass off here. But I do like some of this yellow here, so I might just move that up and then still cut it off a little bit. That'd be a good solution. All right. That's where I'm going. Any questions? I'm getting good at this. There's never any questions.
Well, you know what bothered me about this?
Oh, yes. Tell me.
Well, that the horse and the guy didn't have a shadow that I could see.
Ah, you're right. Well, even the monuments back there, you really can't see the shadows. But it's you can fake it, please. You could fake it. We could just drop in
Well, if you think it needs it, but
yeah, hey, if it bothered you, then you probably say it next.
Well, to ground it or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I mean, you just a slight thing like that.
Yeah, and I thought, well, maybe there is one, and I'm just not seeing it very well. But but
yeah, it's probably a little mix of the grass growing up in front and stuff like that, and layering back. Probably wiping out. You don't see too many shadows anywhere.
No, you don't.
In here, you don't see really long ones. So
I suppose we could
tell us it's probably getting around 11 o'clock or so here.
Oh, yeah,
not too long shadows, but I'll let you use your artist license and do whatever you want.
Okay,
use it to your heart's content. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Do what that's the thing on this, these classes, you guys are getting so good that you guys can go out on your own here a little bit too on this. You can flop it. You can flip this thing around, do it coming the opposite way. You can put a bunch of Indians coming into it, that kind of stuff. Okay, maybe not, but think about it. All right, we are going to be going over to our people. So oops, the heck happened? I closed out something I shouldn't have. There it is. Here we go. Colors and stuff. Nothing new, right? Nothing new on me for me. I mean, my colors are always going to be the same right now. Just yep, that's them. Oh, I forgot. Not sure if I'll need white. If I do need white, I'll put it more out. So basically, same colors as always. Titanium white. Then we got some cad yellow light, cad red light, cad orange. This is yellow deep right here, but you don't have to have it. It's just there from another painting. Yellow ochre. This is yellow ochre pale again, just a little white added to it, basically. This is oxide red light, alizarin crimson, cobalt blue hue, phthalo green, and transparent oxide for burnt sienna. And this oxide red light could be a little bit of Terra Rosa, or it could be a Venetian. Very nice. Could be Venetian easily. Big brushes, big ideas. They're going to be really nice to have. Good synthetics. Going to need that for probably be really good for the chiseled out features of this monument. all these little cracks and stuff. Come in handy with a nice chiseled one. Palette knife will be nice to use on it too. I wouldn't doubt that. That would come in handy to put some real paint on it sometimes. But then you're going to need some bristle brushes for all this, yarrow and sagebrush and things like that here. And then, you got the sky and some other stuff. We got a lot of stuff to do. Way too much. Get your nice little paint eraser for mistakes. So we are set. My bristles away. Definitely going to use bristles and synthetics. Grab them when I need them. All right. First colors of the class. Definitely looking at the darks again. And you saw me, I mentioned about the back here, some of the blues being blue, grayed out blues and things. And then these guys being warmer, as you can see in here, how much warmer that is. So first color is going to be kind of different. We're going different, folks. We're going blue. We're going blue and cad red light. I'm going cad red light. I don't, going to make up two. I'm going to keep it really kind of rich and dark, which is right about there. That'll be probably right, but then I go to a red side. Just something a little different. Now, it's a little bit, that one a little red, but we will see. That might be, wow, that might be, might be a better color than I thought it was going to be even. So I just need to darken it up a little bit. It's just on the little bit on the red side. And still getting there, too much red side. Okay, I'm just going to take this piece here and do it. Okay, that's one of the blues and stuff I see in there. Let's do a couple more. Blue again. And oxide red light. Again, that's the same thing. It's going to be really strong in that. I want to keep this one blue. And it didn't go blue. It's that blue's not that strong. There it goes. And then this one's going to be on the red side probably, which is good. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of difference between those two. We'll see though. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of shadows and other stuff too. So I need a few colors. But we also need some other cools. So we're going to go blue and alizarin. These guys, I'm thinking this color more for, well, just, oh, boy, that really went on the red side. But when I get it back in here, I think it could be, yeah, could be in here, back in here a little bit. I know the blue side could definitely be in there. Just a touch of white, that's all it's going to be. All right. So we've got some warms, got some cools. Definitely need a couple grayed out colors. So I'm going to go back and do my last few things here with a little phthalo green and oxide red. Phthalo green and oxide red light, or Venetian, or Terra Rosa. That's what I'm looking at. Trying to get these two separated out a little bit better. We got to get the red, push the red. Gonna leave the green show through. This is now you saw the red come through. Just a touch of green on that one, just a touch more. All right. That will show up really different at the end. Okay. So we could take all these colors down and say, bring them to about a 7 value. I think 7 should do it. Except there's not too many more colors. We really got to do oranges. That's the whole bottom of the panel. We'll just do a bunch of oranges. We already have some dark ones here. What I'm hoping to find is maybe I'll get a couple ones out of here. So I'm just going to have blue to about a 7. This probably I'm hoping to get me into these shadow colors. Right there is yeah, we're real close to a 7 right there. Might be just a hair light. I'll leave it there for now. On the red side, you can see it really gets a nice purple to it. Nice grayed out purple. You know, you can see that, but it could be on that could be on the blue side. Yeah, it's right down the middle probably. But we're gonna leave that one there. We're gonna have some fun though. That was oh yeah, that was cad red. That's no wonder that didn't like sing out of there. I could have you could have just painted it. This could be a very limited palette painting. You probably get away with it too, you know, just putting a cad red and blue and yellow and white, and you pretty much have all the colors. See, that was the purple. Yeah, that's it. Just a little bit more blue into it. That's all it is. Got a little too much red into it. So a little bit more blue. And then this same with this one. I think that one probably a little too red for see, it's almost too perfect. It can't have to. We're gonna leave that. All right, now we got alizarin here and blues. And this will should fit back there too. This is the cool, kind of some of this cool purples and stuff I was hoping to get. That's supposed to be on the blue side, but really didn't, you know, that's really where my alizarin was supposed to be. So I'm pushing some blue back into here. You know, if this was your alizarin, that's your blue, don't worry about it. But yeah. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, I just graded out with that. Okay, let's see what the alizarin side is. Yeah. Just a little much, but you know, we'll figure it out. I think I would throw some blue in it. For now. We'll try. Maybe we'll throw some yellow in it. Maybe. Okay. And then these last ones here too, of green and oxide. No, see that color did not move. I had white, it did not move. That's an 8. Now that should do it right there. Now that could definitely be back in here. I think that color, you can see this color on my top of my knife, not the white. You know, that could definitely be back in here and a lot in this guy. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at it. Trying to find a color, and so something like this, what it was, it was going to be value or whatever. That was going to tie this rock with these rocks. Put a little more green in this. This is just a little too perfect of brown. I want to get a little more green to it, tint to it. I think I can get it into these things. It'll be fun. All right, so we've got our basic dark colors done. This stuff can go down in here too. That's the stuff, where his shirt can easily come out of this color here with just a little more white. So it's we're in really good shape. I mean, if I took these colors down, I'll probably take them down one more step to probably 4s, and that would give me so many different colors to play with. But let's get I want to get some of the oranges done first. So we're going to do a few oranges. Let's start off with Oxide Red Light. That's a nice warm one, and I think Cat Orange mixed into it. I've done this color a few times. And that Oxide Red is really strong. Okay. As you can tell, it doesn't go anywhere in here, but we add white to it. I think it's going to go everywhere. I'm going to say that's my dark color. I'm going to save this oxide over here. I'm going to do just one more with just more orange and a little bit of oxide, mostly orange. And that's going to get really, really probably pretty close. Okay. So that's not bad. Just playing around. We're definitely going to do some alizarin. But I usually use like cad yellow and stuff, but that gets really kind of rich, So let's go with ochre. We have ochre. Let me try a little bit of ochre and see what that does. I mean, it's going to be a lot more ochre than alizarin. This is because this ochre I have now is just like kids stuff. It's not, as you can see, it didn't do anything. And so I'm going to have to use up almost all my ochre. So I'm going to say that's my red. And this is going to be my orange. This is just going to be whatever I had left on the knife. And this is just all I got to do is get this value to the right one, to the right value. Probably, like I said, a 4. We were looking at 4-ish, right there. So that was just ochre. And like I said, it's a good start. That's pretty rich. This one, I don't think I could ever get down. So I'm going to take this over here and add just a little bit of this red here to it. Maybe I will bring in some cad yellow into this color because of, well, I just wasted it. Don't want to leave it. So this is the red side. That's the yellow side. Make sure that. So these two, this is alizarin and well, it has a little ochre in it, but I'm gonna put some cad yellow into it. When you have a good cad yellow, you can do it. It's gonna just cream that thing. That's really gonna be nice. That's gonna be really, really close. And that is, I'm just gonna put one more yellow in that. I don't think I need huge piles because I'm going to have a couple oranges to play with. But since I'm going to just put these two together, you never know. So this is a alizarin oxide red together. You never know what you might need it for. Yeah. Let's take those guys down with some white and see where we go. Take half the pile, about a third of the pile. These guys are pretty close. These guys aren't gonna go very far. So I don't have to take just too much of a pile on these guys. And then just add white to each one of these guys to get them about a 3. Let's see what happens to this color. You know, not bad. This should be the warmer side. Oh, a little bit, maybe too much white. Touch too much white. I'm gonna just add orange to this one too because I want it a little richer. So just going back to that. There we go. So we got a few brown, really dark. That's a little light, but I think I can live with it. Like I said, I live with it, and then I grab some top and drop it in. It's so easy. This is oxide red and alizarin. Hey, you never know. This could end up being flowers. This could end up being just little specks. This might even, if I tone this, gets toned down right a little bit more, maybe it ends up in the mountains back in here. That's the thing, is because it's a cool color, it can go a lot of places. This is cad and ochre, or cad yellow, red alizarin. Oh, see, there's just so many ways to get to this color. So many ways to get to this orange. And the nice thing is we can have some subtleties. We got some richness we can build into this painting. Ooh, I got a little bit of blue into this color, so it's, as you can see, it overpowered that. So we're gonna leave this one here. I forgot, this is those guys are pretty close. So this is really gonna be in the sagebrush and stuff like that. Just to go into that stuff, maybe even the horse. Okay. Last few colors, we just got to get some kind of yellowish greens into some of this stuff and get the horse color. Some of this stuff, right? These oranges might be right anyway. So yellow, greens. Now there's some purples in there too. So some of these purples here are going to work out well. Let me take a little bit of this. Let me try something here. In cad yellow. Oh, that's way too much. Yeah, it's way too much, but I think it's a little light too. We'll say that's the green side. Whoop, get out of here. Yeah. That's a little bit green. But so let's go with some yellow. I'll probably just add some white to them too. I think it's just did the same thing. I just pushed way too much. That's okay. That's okay. That one works. That one's got a little more green. Let me just wipe my knife off. Just use what I got here. just start that way. I should start, start with the richness and then pull it back, push it back instead of, oh, that green just took over. Okay, good. It's green, put some red in it. Yeah, it's much better. Just a touch more red. Maybe some Listerine. I'm gonna put that into all those greens up here. It's just to knock that out of there. Yeah, this is much better. Okay, that's much better. So just a touch of Listerine into these greens. Oops, too much. Maybe. Then we'll add some white to them. I think that'll be it. White, maybe yellow if we have to, but I think that's right. Close, close. No cigar, but close enough. Means you're going to be a little bit amount of white. So that is the show, folks. Plenty of white. Add some more white to this one. My yellows. Should be able to get the horse color out of this too. I would think definitely going to come out of the one of these guys, probably this one. Basic horse color and then really all white. Whoops. Talk about, man. Just use up my white. Just playing around. All right, that'll be some of the horse. Like I was saying, some of these colors here might go down to fours with these guys. So I'm going to go down to add just a little bit of white to these guys down here at the bottom. And if if you're running out of space, just add it to the very bottom of your pile. Just looking for things like I'll probably get a sky out of it. I should have got the sky out of that color. Yeah, I'll get it out of that color. Or I'll get it out of this color. Yeah. We might have to make a sky, but you guys know how to make that. It's just blue and just probably a little phthalo green. Should do it in white. So to these values, you'll be fine. Who knows? Maybe we won't even do a blue sky. Maybe we'll just go with a tinted sky. Maybe then we change it to the sunset. We'll see. Easy to do. Most of the colors will just be here. So I just wanted to get a few more lights together. All right, I'll be toning it with definitely oxide, transparent oxide or burnt sienna for you guys. Okay, colors again. I'll go over them real quick. We did blue and cad red light for these first two. Then we did oxide red light in blue. You can see there's just a slight difference. These are a little more grayed out, and these have a little more richness to them. Then we did alizarin and the blue, and when we mix it with white, you've got a lot sweeter color, but it kind of gives you distance. So we'll be using that in there too, or maybe Not exactly how much, but we will be. Then we got phthalo green and oxide red. And we did brought those guys down, and we brought them all down to about a 4 here too. Then we look for the land, what that desert color orange is. How many different ways can we make it up? Because it kind of feeds through the whole painting, right? So we start off with oxide red light and orange, and came down with some white. I have some oxide red here, and this was with alizarin in white. I did not make a secondary color because I wasn't really going to use it, but I had some oxide red left over. Over here, I did use some alizarin, and this is just cad yellow into it. Cad yellow and then white added. So you can see how rich that gets. Over here, we just did oxide red light and my pale ochre, which is basically ochre with white in it. So it's ochre and white. And came down with these colors, and then when we pasted these guys down, these guys got really pasty. We needed some yellows for this thing. So I went up here with the green, oxide red and green here, and grabbed a little bit and add cad yellow to it. It went a little green. So I added alizarin to it. And I added some more to it. And then I added white, and then paled it down. And then you got a few different colors here coming out of it. So, and then a lot more white. I was thinking about the horse and maybe his hat and just little thing, way too much paint. I got carried away. But a lot of this stuff, these guys over here will work. These guys, we might bring a little yellow into these guys at the bottom and stuff, because they could end up being down in here. And if we do, it'll just be a little bit of yellow added to it, making it a kind of a orangey color, and it might have just a touch of white added to it if we have any problems with that, just in case, it will be that. Like I said, the sky is nothing more than blue and a little touch of phthalo green if you want, and then just white to touch, right to value. And that should do it. We're going to tint with transparent oxide. So let me get over here and get busy, get this thing together, get you guys set up, and we'll get going. Yeah, we'll see if that works. I got green all over me. All right, tone those canvases. Bring it in. Something like that. And all the cameras running. All right. There you go. tone it down with some. I can slide this over. Let me slide this over for you. You guys can. Yeah. All right. Oxide red, transparent oxide. Did not use it very much, and I did not even mix it into the painting. So, got to use it. So let's use it for here. Like I said, we might end up, maybe we won't do the sky. Who knows? Look at this guy. Okay. All this stuff in and lay it in. Take it easy in the sky.
Is it okay to use linseed oil instead of safflower oil? if
Sure.
you're running out?
Sure, you can use it.
Okay.
It should work.
Thanks.
Why? You out?
Well, I'm running out of safflower, but I have a big bottle of linseed.
Yeah, go ahead and use it. Go use it up. The thing, you want to use it up before it gets too old, and when it gets old and stale, it will start to stink.
Oh.
It would just smells,
Okay.
but it won't
But-
smell bad. It won't if it's young, it won't smell too bad.
But probably not real young.
Well, you never know. Go ahead and use it. Try it.
Okay. Thanks.
You be our guinea pig.
But it kind of mixes the same, right? Because they use it in the paint, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's really, what paint's been made with for years, hundreds of years. That, thousands of years. What, is it thousands? Yeah, probably.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So just tone it out like that. Finish it off. Which I started kind of just drawing it in. I go, wait, what am I doing? That's not what I'm doing. I'm supposed to be, like I said, even though just a warm sky might be the best way to go. I'm just gonna leave it kind of, especially with this this stuff down in here. I would say probably a little bit less oil and probably more paint. Give yourself some fun strokes in here. Might be fun. And if it's not, we can cover it up. All right. We draw it in that arc at about a little bit over halfway. So third, probably more about a quarter. It was just right here. And it goes down. The mountain behind there a little bit. I'm getting a lean on this one. A little bit of a lean. And the other ones go all the way off. Just a little high. A few of these. That's okay. A little bit over here. Let's move this one over. Oh, look at the stock side. It's probably would have been good color too. You just probably added white to that. It would have been fine. Too easy though. Okay. 1/3. Probably about right here. 1/3 in here. Right about here. Okay. The horse is so small, so he's not going to have a ton of information to play with. So It's never going to look too great. And then we'll put in, if nothing else, we'd like do it like, you know, we'll just put a giant shadow on it, right? Like Kathleen was saying. That's it. We just put a giant shadow on it. Ooh. A lot of spots up there, so there are a lot of things. Well, as you can see, a little bit of oil going in there. So let's get busy. You guys got it drawn? You guys are ready? Set. Go. All right. Can start off with our darkest darks here. Got some oxide red and blue. Oh no, we got blue and cad red. Here's on the blue side. It's pretty dark. I was just looking at it for thinking about it here, but I think it's a little. That's a little blue, and it's a little dark for back there yet. So I'm just going to go to the red side. A lot closer to what we need. Just kind of be basically thinking about the shapes of the shadows. Nothing too much more after that. This shape here on this bottle, it's like a bottle almost. That last one. Okay. I'm drawing from the side here, so everything looks good from here, but probably find out it should be a little straighter. That bottle's going to fall off and break. All right. This one just goes straight up. Again, on the red side, shadows here. Yeah, you can start to see it in that. And this one just kind of runs right up there too. It was like rabbit ears, huh? I'll leave that there. Gonna put in his pants. You can put in his pants with this color. A little red, brown, you know. Over the blue side, I could do shirt probably even. It's way too soon to do this guy, but you know, I'm kind of embarrassed that I, you know, drew him out so badly. So that and horse's head. All right. Finish up the drawing on the mountains. Sit back in here. Just on the outside edges here. They're saying how good synthetic it would be for this, you know, this area here. I missed, there's a little outing here. It's a little smaller than. So I'm just figure if I get this drawing, you know, closer, not like I was, you know, probably save some time here. You know, I can end up spending more time doing, you know, working on a cowboy, I guess. This is drawn out fast, right? It will probably go fast. Maybe. Kind of see you start with the shadows. Make sure you get some shadows in here too, because that's really what the cool thing is about this thing is the shadows on these rocks and stuff. Huh. Well, no abstract. Nice. Well, one thing is you're not in this area here. This is gonna, you know, basically we're gonna have to make it a hill. So we're gonna have to have it darker at the bottom and then gradually get lighter coming up, and then move the light over to the top, over to this top side over here, so it doesn't just feel like it's, an ice cream cone. All right, so that was blue and oxide. No, that was blue and cad red. You can see if you wanted to start to even get it in this area here, scrubbing it in, you could do that. Some of the darks, this color isn't really too bad for that value there, as long as, because it's so oiled out. This is again just blue and cad red together today. Doing most of our heavy lifting so far. I'm just going to put a little white on my, I'm just going to put in the shirt. Just a little bit of blue white. This is, usually I don't get to these things for you, so I just want to figure just getting a little triangle in there. Two brush is way too big, so I just want to get some in there for you. Let's see what this is oxide red and blue. On the red side, definitely a lot more red. And it's gonna, have a little, like, in the middle of some of these spaces here, you could see it just pop through a little bit. I mean, it could be little areas. It's gonna have some richness. But I don't want to do every spot. I mean, I want to move it around. So it's just it's everywhere. And again, we got a little bit more reddish colors and stuff yet to go. Let's go to the blue. I'm going to Liseron and blue. I'm going to keep this really kind of thin, but I'm looking at it, putting it all the way back in here, in the back end of this area here. I'm going to keep it pretty thin. Just keep it kind of a blue purple. I want to get that color in that this section. Like I said, I think this is probably going to be the hardest part, is right here, getting those guys. And when you get, that done, I think everything else just falls into place. Because we'll get this done, and then we'll dive into the oranges. Trying to get as much done with this big brush as we can, right? I know you guys are not using a big brush, are you? None of you guys are. Nobody does. I'm the only one. Bunch of chickens. Okay. Definitely want to stink. I'm going to steal a little bit more blue. It's a lot of alizarin coming through here right now. Okay.
Which pile are you painting? That way back purple.
What color?
Yeah, which pile?
That
did you pull from?
that was alizarin and alizarin in blue.
Thank you.
Yes,
On the red side,
it was on mine. Was on the blue side.
blue side. Okay.
Blue, but a lot of red showed up right up here. But I had to push the blue into it, so I was just a little red probably. But this is the underpainting anyway, so it's not going to be too much. I would say definitely you want to try and get a little bit of this color into the bottoms of these. After we did all that drawing, into the bottoms of these shadows too a little bit. Okay. Because a lot of that stuff, yeah, this brush is just a hair too big for. I'm going to finish off this guy a little bit too. He's a little bit bigger than that guy too, so he should go up a little higher. Go, well, probably. Yeah. Next time I'm going to take them all. There's a lot of good things that are happening in the scenes there uh, in some of the shadows and things too. There's some really nice mixes of color, but I think I'm not going to worry about those guys too much. All right, since I got purple on my brush, I might as well start painting some orange. I'm just going to paint the land. I'm not really into painting these guys yet. I would rather, I'm gonna probably use a smaller synthetic for that kind of stuff. I just wanted to get some messy purples in here. I say that, but then maybe I'll come back and do it, but who knows. So let's get some riches. So I'm gonna go with this is a little red. This is gonna be a little too red, but it's okay. I want to get it down lower. This is alizarin and oxide red light. I want to just start it off here at this side here a little bit, in and out again. I'm going to drag it up a little higher too. What I want to do is don't want that too flat. So I definitely want to get some reds. This kind of a darker red, which is compared to all my other oranges and stuff, it's going to be, you know, night and day. So get a little bit of this in here. Okay. You know, you got this color. Look and see what it will do back in, back in here. It might be, well, it might work right in here. Might be too bright. We'll figure it out. All I know is I want to keep this end really blue, and then everything else can have a tinge of orange, reddish to it back in here. I'm fine with that. Just want to keep that one really cool. Okay. So like right in here, I was looking at right in here, just separating out this spot right in here to be a little bit brighter than everything else. So I'm look at these. I'm just gonna. It won't make a difference right now, but I'm going to use my darker ones at the bottom and work them up to my lighter ones without white. But then I'll come back and hit a few of them with white. So this is oxide red and orange, and this is on the oxide red side. And it looks like I'm probably going to just really, till you get the yellow in, everything's going to look a little, trying to get this in without knocking out all that red I just put in here. But we'll see. I can always put it back. Blend it up a little bit. Um, not sure if it's gonna. Could start putting some orange into these guys. Like I said, I'm just going to try and keep it pretty simple. Very kind of, we never know. Start. This one's almost like a hand. It's really interesting. Okay. There you go, my lighter oranges. Basically, the brighter ones. This next one is going to be cad, alizarin and cad yellow. Pretty much should really start to get some real richness in here. Yeah, also thinking about there's a little spot right over here. That's what I was getting here, a little hot spot. Much more yellow with it. Okay. That's almost a block in, really. Now, a lot of sky and stuff. We got sort of layered out oranges. Dark to light, kind of, and then moving the light over here a little bit. All right. So, got them rich, keep them rich. Get out of that a little bit and put a little bit more white in those colors now. I do think this oxide, no, cad red and orange with white. That's going to be really close to what I need up here. Almost went a little pale. It's just a hair too much white. It's with the darker ones probably. Oh, I see how so much that came wet. Really kind of on the a little bit on the red, cool red side. And a little more cat orange into it. This is oxide, and I switched over to oxide when I came down here to oxide. Oxide red light and some orange. And I'm just gonna try and leave room for some yellows to show through, but hopefully that will help, this thing a little bit too. This is an ochre and was it ochre and alizarin? Yeah, I might go a longer way than I thought too. Yeah, but I am getting to the point when I'm not going to be able to do too much with this big brush here anymore. I'm going to have to switch over to a bristle. But before I do, let me get some of these purplish things in here. This is oxide red and phthalo green. In fact, that's on the red side, and it really looks purple. Gets that orange. Just trying to make some, patterns in here, trying to catch some bigger spots that are in here, and grays and things. We get some horse feet here, so I'm going to start to getting around that a little bit. One of the things I'll know is those horse feet are going to be a lot skinnier than they always are. They always seem like they go a lot skinnier. Okay. I'm going to go back in with a bristle brush and probably do all the yellows and stuff coming in. Okay. I was just laying in this stuff, and I just touched this spot up here, and like, oh my God, that's really, really pretty close to what I need here for these shadows, which I was not thinking was this was the color. This is ox- phthalo green oxide and oxide red, with just a little white in it. Yes, you see, touched. I was in the oranges so long, mixing the stuff that color is a little lighter than so that's probably what's happening. So just looking for some kind of little big areas here. Going up here, these little guys here, and kind of how they stack. A little fun. And again, I'm really just following that bowl shape too. I'd want trying to make them too straight. I want them all at angles uh, for the kind of flex around the bowl. Here too. This is without yellow on it too, so it's basically marking where they're going to end up. Things are going to go. Might be a little harsh right now, but yeah, it's harsh. Here, okay, a couple little things. Dig into that red a little bit, and I'll push it back too. Okay, so that area there is pretty much done. I mean, all it gets is little teeny things like this. Just basically moving some paint around. That's about it. There's this one right here. That's okay. That'll help. All right. That's a good placeholder for that. I mean, I think this is a little pale. Probably have to push some more yellow into it. But I'm going to switch over to a smaller synthetic so I can get going on these rocks back in here. But all I'm going to do is work the ones in front first, and then use the paint the mountain behind here to check my drawing, push it around. So go in here and get these darks in right. So I'm not, sorry, a little quiet here, just concentrating on, things here. Okay. A lot of cracks. So I'm getting this color into the cracks. This is well, this right now is a oxide red and blue on the red side. This guy just a touch more. At least now, paint's getting solid now, since we're moving to more a little heavier paint. I'm going to move back and use the paint, start painting this guy back in here. Alizarin crimson and blue. I'm going to start off with just a touch of white. That might be just a too bright. I'm going to just tone it out down a little bit with more purple. Just a touch more white. I'm pushing it a little bit too. I will see if I want to. I can always change this up. That color, and then same over here. A lot of vertical strokes, pretty much. Trying to get a lot of transparency too showing through, so it's kind of a light stroke. I'm not trying to, you know, shove all the color in there. I'll come back in with the lighter oranges for these rocks, and they should come out pretty good. I'm going to go to a mid gray, slide it over and go to a warmer gray here, more grayed out color. This is oxide red and blue, mid-tone 7. Yeah, it's just a little blue. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna go to the red side. Yeah, the red side's pretty. We'll get this area back in here behind. Yeah, red side's good. Might be a little dark. Might have to lighten it up, but it's not going to be too bad. Not like everywhere. It's just sometimes little places, I think. Be lightening it up a little. Hmm. A little bit in between. Just on the red. Okay. Lighten these guys up a little bit. I'm on the just a little just trying to figure it out if it's warm or cool. These reds here. I mean, it's definitely cad red. I just don't have enough. Here, let's try this. A little more cad red and blue. That's a lot closer. It's just going to be a little bit of white. Cad red and blue, mostly a cad red. With a little bit of blue at the mid-tone 7 mark. Pretty close. I'm just going to drag the brush down, just let it come off. Just got a little bit of detail back in here, but not much more. Gives a little bit of light on this side of this finger. Find just a few spots back in here too. Just a touch of white. Gray it out for this area back in there. Now I just gotta get this guy back up in space, but that's all next. So back there, I would say is pretty close, value wise, close enough. Now we'll just basically, I think the front here, we hit the right oranges and stuff. We'll should come through. I think we have all the right oranges. Let me see these guys. Just a touch of white into them, maybe. Some of these colors. Really rich. Got the midtone. Now you just got to brighten it up. Get the highlights from that. These rocks in here don't get much of anything. They just get a little bit of warmth. And they'll be good. Same up here. I don't think these guys get much at all. Definitely could need to be a little brighter. easy to lose your space here, right? Yeah, these guys need to jump out. So what I'll do is probably he's going to have to come back and just a touch of oil on my brush before I grab my paint and should get a lot of the stuff. See, a nice easy one for a Monday night, right? You guys didn't want to paint a dog. Yeah, basically right now I'm just working on probably just getting the light to be right. How bright I have to take it. That back there and stuff. I do seems like I do have to pop it. Let me try a little bit more oil paint so it doesn't mix. A little bit better. Yeah, these guys are going to take a little bit more figuring out. I was hoping to, be, you know, be able to just hit them with a nice indication and run off. That's the thing I'm still hoping on. That all of a sudden it'll just catch fire and go. Okay. Well, that helped a lot. Like I said, just a touch of oil on my brush now. When I grab a little bit lighter colors, and they'll just, I can get them to stand out a little bit better. That way you can get that kind of extra feel in them. Okay. Well, getting there. I'm gonna just warm up this one spot here. Okay. I'm just gonna jump ahead and start putting in some of the yellows down in here. Bristle brush, I think I need for that. Things to remember as you get farther away, things get smaller. So my dots, my dashes should be smaller back there. And as they come forward here a little bit, these guys can be a little bit bigger. Getting very green. Too much white. Make a nice spot for your signature too. You know, these guys just really, there's nothing more than scratches. A little too much white mixed in that one. See what that color does up here. You see, I didn't even change that color hardly at all from here to there. Okay. Now, the rest of the time I'd probably spend on the guy, but see how time wise we are. Yeah, well, I think we got a few minutes. So I'll just put in the guy with my knife, speed it up. Same with these things, probably, come back on, hit it with a knife. Get the shadows in. Yeah, you get the shadow on one side, color should go on the other. That's it. I will. I'll be using probably oxide red and phthalo green for the horse. More on the red side than that. Some warps than that, maybe. Probably a lot of reflective, definitely a lot of reflective sand on a white horse. Not as warm as I thought it would get. Its tail real orangey. Come back in with some lights. That'll be it. You get won't be it, but all right. Okay. I'll bring you in, and there's a long ways to go. Really orange. Gonna tone that down, really fix that up a lot. I started trying to get the guy in just a little bit more, but it's a consistent block in right now. It's just a block in. And I started getting those guys took a lot longer putting in the creases and drawing it out than, it's like, yeah, just a little bit of work. Okay, got to really, get the lights in there a little bit better, but it's a start. All right, you guys turn on your stuff and let's see what you guys have been doing. You guys have been goofing off or painting or what? Who's up first? Ooh, Shar jumped right up there. Let's see what Shar does. She'll want to talk. Hey, Shar.
Hello.
Oh, Shar.
See if I can-
Shar.
I tip that like that. Is that
Nice.
beautiful?
Wow. Nice work on that. That feels really, that feels like a painting. Very nice. Some good, really beautiful strokes going on there. I love the way you did your mountains back there.
Yeah, the rocks were fun.
Yeah, I know they took time, but they soaked up a lot of the regular time I had painting time. But
Yeah.
good job on that. That's gonna be great. You're gonna just where are you gonna be going from here on it?
Well, the horse, and then I feel like the grasses in the front need a little bit brighter, not too yellow, but just a little brighter.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
tops of them to kind of show just here and there. Yeah.
Sometimes to get them brighter too, look at the contrast around them. The darks around them might be darker.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
where else, and that could help. That would help brighten it up too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I might try that first.
It's a little bit of both. It's probably a little bit of both. But yeah, this is right up your alley. This feels great. Congrats.
Well, I'm not a landscape person, but I want to start trying them.
Yeah, well, you in Italy, you'll get you all kinds of trying.
Have you ever been to New Harmony, Indiana, where they have that big plein air thing?
No, I haven't.
I went down there last week, and they have a lot of different things. You got to try it sometime because they have a quick draw. They have what's called a field of finish, and then they have a regular plein air thing over like 3 days. So I didn't paint. I just went down there. I didn't.
Next time you got to paint. You're good.
Yeah, I went down to see it, so I might try next time.
Okay. All right. Good job, Shar. I'd like to see that finished. Okay, Kathleen's coming up. Mike has to turn on his voice again or video. Video, Mike. What happened to Kathleen?
Oh, I'm here, but I'm down to 16%. So
Well, let's get you going. Oh, we got plenty of time. 16%. Let's get. Wow. Wow.
I don't know.
That's dynamic.
Well, I'm just copying you.
Yeah, but you're no. You did something. You caught some light on those rocks back there in the front. Boy, those things are really. You caught the right value, so that's good.
Well, thanks.
They look intense. That looks great. Yeah, and the oranges is working out. That doesn't bother me. And at least the blue sky. You guys went in and put blue sky, and that's great. I didn't get that far.
I lost track of you a long time ago.
Yeah, at one point it's just kind of like you're
I
concentrating on brush.
But there's
placement.
always a replay, right?
Yes, there's the replay. I might have to see what the hell I did. Yeah.
So it needs a lot, but it's been fun.
You got a whole hour and a half of painting in. So congrats.
Well, thanks.
It
Well,
has
maybe
a lot-
that big tumbling rock thing has helped me with rocks because I spent months on that thing and before I
Yeah.
trashed it.
It looks good. I
Well,
like that a lot.
Well, thanks, James. Yours
Okay.
is wonderful, of course.
Good. All
Okay.
right. We need a couple people to turn on their stuff here. There we go. We got Lisa P jumped up here. Mike's got to turn all of his stuff on. He doesn't want to show. He's finishing painting. Laura got to come on, Laura. Mike, Sharon's here. Let's see your stuff, Sharon. Whoa, look at this.
Gorgeous.
Wow.
That Lisa
Wow.
P.
Lisa P.
Lisa P.
It's really orange. It's like pumpkin orange.
Yeah. But that's okay. I think everybody's is. I think yours is a little bit almost more correct than the rest of it for mine.
I need to go more clay.
The yellow underneath is fun.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
that is interesting, and it's kind of in the
I'm
way
lazy.
what you didn't paint on those things back there looks so cool.
They're coming.
Yeah, it's coming. I like the background so much. I like back there, you just left the white there to show and you go, hey.
Well, I lost track of what files you were pulling from, so I have to wait for the video. I didn't want to mess it up.
I'm not sure if you're gonna get it. I was a lot of it turned out to be a lot more orange going into those things too from the sand and stuff underneath it.
Mhm.
So maybe that's what it is. They need to be a little bit stronger too. But that's really great. Congrats.
It's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah, something different for us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, finish it. Good job.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Laura and then we'll go to Mike. There she goes. There you go. Ooh, Laura. Wow.
Pretty.
Wow.
I didn't really get to the horse yet at all.
Oh, yeah, don't miss them though. It's one of those things. It's also, anybody does not feel good about a horse and doesn't feel good about putting a person on it too, don't paint it. Just paint the background. That still has a lot of, dynamics to it. So that's really cool. Good job. Really nice real rich oranges in front. Really kind of comes forward, and it helps push the mountains back. They're really nice. And good job on the colors on those guys. The drawing looks strong. Yeah, did you have fun with it so far?
Yeah, pretty much. I want to work on those rocks a lot more though in the background. I don't really like how they look right now.
Yeah, they have some, but the basic guts of them is pretty good. The lighting and some strong shadows on them. Those are the really good things. Really pop
Mhm.
and stuff. Nice job on that though.
Thanks.
Good going. All right. Let's see. We got Sharon. Let's see if Sharon painted. Sharon, you paint with us?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm there.
Oh, well, listen to her. Look at her. She did do what I said. I said you could go as vertical on that, and she
Oh.
did.
Cool.
Yeah, when we were in that part of the country a couple years ago, I
Yeah.
remember picking up some dirt and rocks because I wanted to match the color, and I'm still not getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it kind of pumpkin-y, though?
I'm not getting enough. I don't know. You tell me. It's
Okay.
not a good red. It's not
Oh.
working for me.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
I think if you keep coming with a little bit, I think on the outside there, on the right side, in the middle of the hill,
Yeah.
there's seems like that colors looks really good. That looks, for some reason, that looks right.
Yeah.
So I would say push that one a little bit bigger
Okay.
into the top of the mountain. I think you got a little too dark on the side of it on the mountain. I think you probably could bring it over the top a little bit more, and that'd be great.
I think I'll go ahead and do some scraping so that I'm back to the canvas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to see you. Sorry to miss last week.
Oh, no
It's been
worries.
crazy.
No, yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
You got it on video, so we can, you can always paint it anytime, really.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Night. Sweet dreams.
Mike, let's see, buddy. Let's see.
Yeah, I gotta
Anybody else?
I gotta work on the back more.
What the hell were you thinking here,
Ooh.
Mike? What the heck? Wow, that is light. You got some intense light going there. That looks good. I liked what you did on the orange up there. That is the toughest work so far. I think of the whole thing is getting that orange. I think yours looks really great. And you put the horse and the guy in there.
Yeah, I got him in. I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with that much.
I wouldn't. He's more of an indication type thing, yeah. And then just a little more light on the rocks up top.
Yep.
And I think you're right there. The blue looks great up there. Good job on that.
Yeah, thanks. I'll work on it.
Yeah, I mean, you really did a nice job. Really, I like the brush strokes and stuff down below in the yellows. You have some nice spots. That's feeling good.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice. You're welcome, Mike. You're welcome. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? All right. Didn't miss anybody. Oh, I'm sorry. I just turned on it looks a little too bright. Popping my eyes out. My painting backer behind it. Let's cover it up. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me today. To next week, we will start something else. Not sure what. Might be a city scene. I got a couple of those that might be kind of interesting to do. But that's about it right now. You guys have a great week.
Thanks. You too.
All right, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
See you later.
Finish them up. Put them up.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.